Yes, sir.
Okay, so I tend to lean liberal on a lot of issues, but specifically on immigration, when I hear about like the Haitians in Ohio, closer, yeah, taking over cities, and the thing about eating people's pets, I don't know if that's true.
It is true.
Um, but I was wondering if you could speak a little bit on that specifically, and I'm kind of torn on the election, so if you could also speak on if we have more instances like that in the future if Kamala Harris gets voted.
Yeah, it's a great. First of all, thank you for coming up to the mic. And I want to try to win you over as a liberal for Donald Trump. So you're going to give me a chance, okay?
I will, sir.
All right, okay. That is a true open mind. So I appreciate that. Number one, we have accepted 5% of the Haitian population in this country in the last couple of years. I have nothing against Haitians. I know some Haitians. We can all agree when you accept 5% of any country's population, in addition to all the other mass migration we have, it's too much, it's unsustainable, and a government must start from this core premise. It must have an obligation to fulfill a better life for its own citizens before it opens its border to non-citizens. It's a very, very basic, fundamental thing. And as I said earlier, everybody in this audience is seeing their future worse off than their parents for the first time since George Washington. That's a big deal. Usually, at least kids are as good, if not better, than their parents, and we have that broken. As far as Donald Trump goes, there are three things I want you to think about when voting for Trump. Number one, home ownership. I imagine you want to own a home sometime in your life, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. In order to own a home, you would have to make $125,000 a year right now just to be able to get the mortgage. That doesn't count your medical expenses, your student debt expenses, your credit card expenses. When Trump was president, it was $75,000 a year. We were building millions of new homes. Incomes were going up. Why is it that the housing prices have gone up so much? Because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have spent $6 to $7 trillion of unnecessary federal spending, flooded the zone with these trillions of dollars, which have inflated asset prices. Number two, as a liberal, I imagine you don't like war, right? You don't like endless war. Under Donald Trump, it was the first president in 40 years where we had no new wars. No Iraq war, no Syrian war, no Russian-Ukraine war. Under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, we have the Russian-Ukrainian war that we've spent $250 billion on. We have the terrible situation in Israel and Gaza. I'm very pro-Israel. We can all agree, though, not a good situation, right? Not favorable. It's just bad. A lot of human suffering, not good to witness. Under Donald Trump, none of that happened. In fact, he brought peace to the Middle East. We had the Abraham Accords, and we had a stable international circumstance. The final thing is the border. Under Donald Trump, the southern border was the most secure it was in American history, with border crossings at an all-time low. Under Kamala Harris, 10 million people have come across the southern border into this country. We have no idea who they are. They're coming into our communities. Crime is increasing. They're eating ducks and geese and cats in Springfield, Ohio. And that's just like a silly example. It's totally true, by the way.
Why?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why? When I looked it up, because the reason I'm asking you is because there's a lot of misinformation. I feel like because when I first heard about your side of the story is what I heard, and then after that, I was hearing that there's no proof of that. So why is that?
Well, there is proof. I mean, we have tons of video I could show you of residents saying that my cat was taken by a Haitian yesterday morning and was grilled on an open fire. They won't accept it as a police report in Springfield. I know way too much about Springfield, Ohio police reports right now, but they won't accept it as a police report because it's an animal control problem. It's just, again, you have to just look at the residents. Either they're all lying and they're all in on it, or there's something to this. I'm not asking you to vote for Trump based on, cats being kidnapped and grilled and barbecued. I am saying, though, that it begs a question of, can we sustain 10 million people? I want you guys to understand how many 10 million people is. We have 10 million illegals that have come to the country, which is the population of New Jersey. Okay, that is an unsustainable amount. Under Donald Trump, we had the border secure and it will stay secure. So those three things. We had a great economy under Trump, and it was easier for you guys to own homes. We had no wars, and you guys are closer to World War III than ever before. You guys that are all, by the way, military age, I hope you don't get into World War III because you might be drafted under the current circumstance, and you guys might laugh. But think about who is endorsing Kamala Harris. Dick Cheney, Leon Panetta, Liz Cheney. These are the warmongers of 20 years ago that got us into these wars. So I am not fear-mongering here, guys. The people that got us into these failed wars, by the way, this is 9/11 today, and we remember what happened on 9/11, and then we remember our terrible reaction on 9/11 when we decided to invade Iraq and Afghanistan. Let us never do that again. Let us never invade sovereign countries.
Amen.
And I think you would sympathize with that.
I agree.
And this is why we're seeing Bobby Kennedy, Elon Musk, Tulsi Gabbard, people that are card-carrying Democrats, vote for Trump and voice support for Trump, because what's happening at the Democrat Party is this very sinister combination. It's a party of censorship, it's a party of war, a party of open borders that is against actual traditional liberal values.
I agree.
So which way you leaning?
Can I get a hat?
That's a good answer. I love it. Thanks, man. God bless. Thank you. Thank you.